Gary Graham's the band director from South Kitsap High School in Port Orchard, Washington.
Bob Cooper, the Director of Arts in South Kitsap School District in Port Orchard.
Michael Paul Kuntz, Assistant Director, South Kitsap High School Marching Band.
And we come from Port Orchard, which is just a little south of Bremerton. Bremerton was one of the major main shore naval bases. It's a natural deep water port there, so a lot of the larger ships that could get in up and down the coast were able to go into Bremerton. And at the end of World War II, they mothballed a number of the different ships, of which one was the Missouri. And it had been there for years. We were able to get on it like here. It was kind of a tour type thing, and they decided for the historical perspective of Pearl Harbor to bring it over here. And so they moved it over here, I don't know how many years it was, probably about 10, 15 years ago, I think they actually moved it over away from here. A lot of our kids that are here with us today, their parents are either into service. We have a commander here, his son's with us. And a number of kids actually work at what we call PSNS, which is Puget Sound Naval Base, and they also work at the Bangor, which is our Trident submarine base. And a number of kids' parents work there. So we have a real close community there. We have a lot of retired Navy, a lot of current Navy people, I think, are in Mr. Kuntz's class and in Gary's class. So, and that's why it really means a lot to our community to be able to be over here at this time. More so, I think, than the Rose Bowl. Gary, you've talked about that.
Yeah, it's well, this is a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to represent that military community. And the community was very integral in helping us get here. We did several fundraisers, several events, and we talked to a lot of veterans. We talked to a lot of military community people, and through the fundraising and the donations, that helped us get here. But we're proud to represent our community, definitely, at this event. We were contacted by several survivors in the area that came and talked to the band, so they got their perspective. Yeah. They come into class and just sit down and talk. And
that generation gave up an important part of our lives. And one of the things that I told a few of the kids here is that imagine that the girls, imagine you have a boyfriend, you're 18 years old, he's going off to war and probably will not come back. I mean, that's a powerful story for what that generation gave to us.
The connections that the community made back then, when Bremerton was basically the only one fixing boats at the time, and everything was passing through there, and people remember seeing all those ships, and kind of the devastation coming in, and then remember fixing them out and saying, okay, go back out again. I mean, those stories still float around our community. And it's all those people that remember those times, that remember being then, and then giving these students an opportunity to see that, who their generations removed.
Yeah.
Now they get an opportunity to really sit and feel it. Just watching the students yesterday as we were going out to the Arizona and being a part of seeing that part of history, I mean, just watching their faces look at something that they've only seen in history books, to feel kind of the air that the stories that we've heard from our parents and our grandparents being there, to actually see those in person. It's living history. To see the gentlemen in their walkers and in their wheelchairs, and then the other ones dancing, going up to the Missouri, with all those stories rattling around in their heads, and to get an opportunity to kind of seep some of those stories out of them, and just a portion of all the things that they experienced. It's invaluable, and it's something these kids will never ever forget, ever.
Well, and one thing I hope they take away from this is that the appreciation for the men and women who gave up their lives so we can have the freedoms we have today. When we took the ferry over to the Arizona Memorial, we didn't talk to the kids about being reverent and paying your respects type of a thing. We got off the boat and onto the memorial, and it was dead silent.
Completely silent.
And we didn't say anything to them, but they understood what it meant standing over the boat, and looking at it there in the water. And I think that speaks volumes of what this really means.
Doug, yeah. What a better classroom than here with what you folks are doing. You couldn't pay enough money to have the lessons that have already been learned in 2 days. Imagine in 5 days what they're going to come away with.